Yes. Once again, it is I, DJ Cool Hal, and this is Beijing Live. So, today, we're going to talk about one of the greatest Caribbean pastimes, the sport of cricket. And we're going to talk about one of the heroes of cricket, a man who I looked up to my whole life, because as you know, I moved there to the United States when I was 14. So, now, cricket is a bat and ball game between two teams of 11 players on a cricket field. At the center is a rectangular 22-yard long pitch with a wicket and a set of wooden stumps sited at each end. One team, designated batting team, attempt to score as many runs as possible whilst their opponent on the field. Each phrase of play called an inning. After either batsman have been dismissed or a set of number of overs have been completed, the inning ends and the two teams swap roles. The winning team is the one that scores the most runs, including any extras gained during one or two innings. Now, cricket is a sport I grew up on in Barbados, and I loved it, just like how the American people love basketball, football, or baseball. And cricket, we had our own hero, like how you guys had Michael Jordan, who was the greatest player, although some people would debate that. We had a guy from Barbados called Sir Garfield Sobers. But more about cricket. At the start of each game, two batsmen and 11 fielders enter the field of play. The play begins when a designated member of the field team, known as the bowler, delivers the ball from one end of the pitch to the other towards a set of wooden stumps. In front stands a batsman known as a striker. The striker's role is to prevent the ball from hitting the stumps by the use of the bat, and simultaneously to strike it well enough to score runs. The other batsman, known as non-striker, waits at the opposite end of the pitch, near the bowler. The bowler's objectives are to prevent the scoring of runs and dismiss the batsman. A dismissed batsman must leave the field, and his teammates replaces him in the crease. Excuse me. The most common forms of dismissal are bowled, when a bowler hits the stumps directly with the ball, leg before a wicket, which means the person put their leg before the wicket to block the ball, when the batsman prevents the ball from hitting the stumps with his body or the bat, and caught, when a batsman hits the ball into the air and is intercepted by a fielder before touching the ground. Runs are scored by two main methods, either by hitting the ball hard enough for it to cross the boundary, or by two batsmen swapping ends, each simultaneously running the length of the pitch in opposite direction whilst the fielders are retrieving the ball. If the fielder retrieves the ball quickly enough and put it down on the wicket with a batsman not having reached the crease at the end of the pitch, the batsman is dismissed. And let me tell you, this can be very exciting. If you really never seen a game of cricket, then you should take the time to go and see it. The laws of cricket are maintained by International Cricket Council, ICC, and the Marylebone Cricket Club, MCC. Excuse me. There are various formats ranging from 2020, play over a few hours with each team having a single innings, or over 20 overs, 120 deliveries, to test cricket. Played over 5 days, unlimited overs, and the teams playing 2 innings apiece. And trust me, let me tell you, cricket can go for a very long time, because unlike baseball, where you have 3 outs, for the next side to bat. Cricket, you have to out all 11 men. And if you got a skilled batsman can bat for a very long time. Although cricket's origins are uncertain, it was first recorded in southeast England in the 16th century. It spread globally with the expansion of the British Empire, leading to the first international cricket matches in the 19th century. ICC, the game's governing body, has over 100 members, 10 of which are full members who play Test cricket. Women's cricket, which is organized and played separately, have also achieved international standard. It's followed primarily in Australia, Great Britain, Ireland, the Indian subcontinent, South Africa, and the West Indies. Now, the West Indies cricket is what I know for this. Now, like I said before, that thunder strike, which I had to land on this favorite sport I like. I mostly follow West Indian cricket. Now, each country in the West Indies have their own cricket teams, their own players. And the West Indies team is the best players from each West Indian country taken and putting on one team. Cricket, like any other sports, has its biggest heroes, and I could name plenty of cricketers who are excellent batsmen. But the one cricket player I want to talk about is the man, the original man, who, when I was 12 or 13, I thought was the greatest sportsman of all time. And anybody that want to debate me can message me and tell me this man is not the greatest cricketer of all time. Now let me get a gunshot on that before I name this man. Now, in my opinion, the great Sir Garfield Sobers was the best cricketer of all time. This man can bat for days, score more runs than anybody. His records will probably be broken. Some of them probably already broken. But nobody can argue with me that Sobers wasn't the best cricketer out of the West Indies. And he was born in Barbados. So let me give a little history. Sir Garfield St. Auburn Sobers, born July 1936, known as Gary or Gary Sobers, is a former cricketer who played for the West Indies between 1954 and 1974, and is widely considered the cricket's greatest all-rounder. And all-rounder means he can bowl, bat, and field the ball. You understand me? Born in Bridgetown, Barbados, Sobers made his first-class debut for Barbados cricket team at the age of 16 in 1953. And his Test debut for the West Indies the following year. Originally playing mainly as a bowler, he was soon promoted up the batting order. Against Pakistan in 1958, Sobers scored his maiden Test century. A century, 100, you hear me tell you? Don't ever question Sobers. Progressing to 335, not out. He means he wasn't out when he get 365. And established a new record for the highest individual scorings in an inning, which was not broken until Byron Lara scored 375 in 1994. He was made captain of the West Indies team in 1965. A role for which he would hold until 1972. Tell me the man in bad. He would also captain the rest of the World XL during their tour of England. Overall, Sobers played 93 tests for the West Indies, scoring 8,000. Now get this here, 8,032 runs at an average of 57.78 and taking 235 wickets at an average of 34.03. Tell me the man ain't bad. He had the fourth highest batting average in Test cricket in the list of cricketers with more than 5,000 runs. In his 383 first-class matches, he scored over 28,000 runs and took over 1,000 wickets as a bowler. Having spent time with South Australia and Nottingham, Hampshire, towards the end of his career, Sobers was knighted by the Queen Elizabeth II in 1975 for his services to cricket. He became a dual Barbadian-Australian citizen through marriage in 1980. By the Act of Parliament in 1998, Sobers was named as one of the 10 national heroes of Barbados. Understand that basketball got Michael Jordan, right? Baseball got Babe Ruth. And cricket got Sir Garfield Sobers, and don't never forget that. Garfield St. Auburn Sobers was born on 28th of July 1936 to Sharma and Thelma Sobers of Walcott Avenue, Bayland, St. Michael, Bridgetown, Barbados, and was the fifth of 6 children. At birth, he had 2 extra fingers, one on each hand, which he removed himself during childhood with the aid of a catgut and a sharp knife. Sobers was only 5 when his father died at sea in January 1942 after his ship was torpedoed by a German U-boat. From an early age, Sobers demonstrated talent and ability to play with great skills almost any sport involving a ball, particularly cricket, football, and basketball. And we didn't mean American football, you know. We mean soccer, whatever you guys call it. He and his similarly talented brother, Gerald, helped the Bay Street Boys school team win the primary school inter-cricket championship for 3 consecutive years. Them boys was bad, hear you? What I tell you? When he was 13, he was recruited to play for 2 cricket teams. These were the Kent Street St. Philip Club in Barbados Cricket League, BCL, and the Wanderers Club, located in Bayland in Barbados Cricket Association. Garnet Ashby, captain of Kent St. Philip, told him that this was his opportunity to play cricket with the big boys. You see what I tell you? The man was only 13. So, not going through all of this stuff, Garfield Sobers was the Michael Jordan of cricket. The only difference is that Sobers was a little different than Michael Jordan, because Michael Jordan, even though he was a great sportsman, wasn't half the gentleman that Garfield Sobers was. And as a kid, we used to, just how people used to get on the court and go Jordan and shoot a ball and yell Jordan. We used to go out and sit by the side of the house and use the fence as the stumps, and one person bowls and play one-man cricket with a softball and knock it out and say Garfield Sobers. So this is one of the things in the Caribbean. There were many great cricket players, many great cricketers. But in my estimation, Garfield Sobers was the greatest cricketer in the world. They even had a song about him. So this is all I have for today. Thanks for listening, and see you next time.